Remember who you are. A conversation with my daughter before her next competition. Luba wrote, "Thank you for your YouTube video. Viva la Vida. It's easy to stop suffering." It reminded me of who I truly am, a star, here to shine on stage and inspire others. Not sure if you have ever seen the movie Moana, Disney, but that's basically the message. Everything you need is right inside you. You just have to remember who you truly are. Love always, Luba. By the way, Luba means loved one in Ukrainian. Hola Luba. I was so happy after receiving this email from you. Honestly, I consciously try not to have any expectations, but I will admit that I continue to believe that you are here on earth right now for a very special purpose. You have opened the door for me, and therefore I choose to share with you some of my perceptions in the hope that this information will provide you with what you need to win the Nationals in Toronto, and then, with the time you have before the Olympia, integrate this knowledge into the cells of your body. This knowledge of who you are is what will set you apart from all the other beautiful contestants. The physical level, i.e., outward appearance and physical performance, is the lowest level of energy expression. The Olympic champions are the ones that have a very deep connection with who they are, the infinite, individual soul. All the energy of perfection is within the soul, but if one is not connected with it on a deeply conscious level, one will not soar above the rest. Luba. It is easy to say, I know who I am, but 99.9999% of people do not know who they are. They're just repeating these nice words. I managed to find the Disney movie Moana on YouTube in 40 or so 2 to 3 minute segments. I watched it because I knew this would help me to guide you to the information you not only are ready for, but you need in order to achieve your goal. The wise grandmother said, "Mind what he, your father, says, but remember, you may hear a voice inside, and if the voice starts to whisper, to follow the furthest star, Moana, that voice inside is who you are." I will provide you with as much concise information as possible here. These are screenshots from my website withinmypower.com. The evil force, the global cabal who has been controlling Earth for eons, cannot interfere with free will. That is why it has to trick you into accepting the poison, see injections, into your own body willingly. They cannot force it into you because that would be interfering with the universal law, the law of free will. I have a certitude that you are destined to win the Olympia, because that will provide you with the confidence and respect needed as a leader. Humanity needs many unique leaders to guide the awakening souls out of the death illusion and into infinite love life. What exactly is your journey? I have no idea, but I have a certitude that you have a major role to play, starting with these competitions. Luba wrote, "Due to my incredible genetics that I need to thank my parents for. So thank you. No need to thank me. You are creatrix. You create every single minute detail of the life which unfolds in front of you, starting with, but definitely not limited to, physical attributes. You carefully chose and then inherited my determination, commitment, relentless hard work, refusal to quit prematurely, and half of the good looks. From your father, you got the other half of good looks and the need to be on stage, admired by a crowd. However, once you're deeply connected with your soul, all the feeding you need comes from her, and you will no longer need to be admired from the outside. Moana had great courage. Courage to step outside of the sheep herd and into your lonely mare stall is absolutely necessary. Courage comes from deep soul connection. Do you have the courage you need to live your unique individual life as a leader? Further, all the serious challenges and hardships were carefully designed by your soul to provide you with the greatest learning potential. That is why I wrote in my book that your father is your greatest teacher. True freedom is inside of me. August 13th, 2014. I continue to work on dissolving my ego on a daily basis. Now, I specifically work on disconnecting from family attachment roles, daughter and mother. Most specifically, Greg and Luba have just experienced a massive life drama. Lee purchased and was able to hide a lot of physical precious metals. He then gifted it to Greg and Luba. Greg was given the responsibility to hide all the gold and silver. Back in October 2012, Luba and Greg had to move out of the large house. They moved as much furniture and valuable belongings as possible to their new location they rented with their biological father. Luba moved out after a few months to live with her friend and boyfriend, but Greg continued to live there with his father. In June of 2014, Greg went to Costa Rica and stayed there for a couple of months to try and clean up that property. After 2 months, Luba informed Greg that his Ottawa home was packed up and his belongings were placed into a storage unit. Greg realized right away that the map, all the precious metals, and his cash stash would be found. Greg returned from Costa Rica immediately and went into the storage unit. Other than his basic bedroom furniture and some personal belongings, everything else was gone. Gold, silver, cash, fine art, sculptures, leather couches, all the expensive large furniture, TVs, stereo system, barbecue, tools, and much more. I believe this drama is worth writing about. Greg has no place to live, and I can't help. Years ago, I set up a scholarship fund for the kids. This money that Greg received for school and kept at home because he no longer trusts the banks was also stolen. I try to support him emotionally by explaining my belief that this is his and Luba's creation, and therefore their opportunity to learn. They are, of course, in deep emotional pain, and both Greg and Luba have difficulty listening to my positive words. My mother is outright rejecting my positivity. Every individual ego is seriously and deeply involved in this huge drama. My suffering is contained because I am conscious of who I am. My level of gratitude for this reality is deep, and yet I know I must work on this every single moment of now, which is all we have. Right now, I'm writing this, and I wrote to Luba and Greg an email this morning. Dear Luba and Greg, the best way for you to move forward is to have no expectations of a specific result. Allow the divine to guide you forward. You have been given this gift, this incredible learning opportunity, provided to you by your greatest teacher at this moment. Your individual journeys will unfold into the future based on how you respond to this drama, this gift. You are in control of your emotions and your mind. This is one of your first big tests. I know you will not only pass this test, you will grow by leaps and bounds because of this test. You can always and forever count on my energy of infinite love for guidance and support, but I'm being guided away from you physically, and this is to remind me that you are infinite love, the unlimited creatrix. And without my physical presence to fall back on, you will behave as the unlimited creatrix that you are in your daily life. I am accused of abandoning you both. I can do nothing to change this belief. I realize that I must distance myself from all the family attachments and live my life wherever my soul takes me. I was hoping and believing till the last second that the gold and silver was a security nest. Lee was instrumental in providing for both of you. However, this is clearly an ego-driven need of mine, and therefore it did not happen. What will happen in the future? I have no idea. However, I know that you are both slowly becoming conscious of being the unlimited creatrix. You are equal in every way to me, and therefore you do not need anything from me or anyone else, because you already have everything you need inside of you. I trust that this latest insanity drama will inspire amazing future learning for both of you. I suggest you become grateful for the role your greatest teacher is playing in your transformation of consciousness. I'm not suggesting that anything I say will be easy to do. However, I am suggesting not fighting with your own creation. The suffering stops when I stop fighting, and then the learning begins. Infinite love, Tatiana. I am certain that today, 9 years after these words were written, you are able to integrate this wisdom. All of this was your creation for your benefit. It is rewarding for me to see how all these seemingly unrelated pieces are fitting together. I'm certain you know what has happened in Lahaina, Maui. In the movie Moana, the name of the shapeshifter is Maui. The island of Maui is crucial for the global cabal. That is why all those 2,000 or so children were either stolen or burnt alive. Of course, many adults were also burnt alive through the use of directed energy weapons. Here is some information from one of my latest videos, Root Races and Galactic Origins of Humans. Here's a summary of the different seedings that have been carried out on Earth in 3D and before on other planes, with the aim of creating a divine human Christ prototype with 12 strands of DNA and therefore 12D consciousness. These root races come from our original body, azurite or sun diamond DNA, and existed millions of years before the Atlantinian cataclysm. The Hyperboreans actually predate the Atlantinians and Lemurians on Earth by millions of years, although the Hyperboreans incarnated among the Lemurians to help assemble the DNA and coding that had been lost. Root Race 3, the Lemurian Race, DNA Strand 2. Lemuria, also called the continent of Mu, was highly spiritually developed and a matriarchal civilization. For a certain time, it coexisted with the Atlantinian civilization. The Lemurian civilization was also the subject of invasions by the group of Orion and the Anunnakis, and in turn suffered a holocaust, the Lemurian Holocaust, around 50,000 years ago. The Draco had secretly set up underground tunnels connecting Lemuria and Atlantis. Humans tried to block these tunnels, which resulted in giant cataclysms that destroyed the Earth's surface, portions of the Pacific Ocean, continent intra-Earth, and made the underground tunnels inaccessible. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and floods have caused the deaths of thousands of humans. With the Ice Age coming, the surviving Lemurians were forced to relocate underground where they began repairing the planetary grids. After the Earth's surface began to be repaired, the Lemurians relocated to Egypt approximately 35,000 to 45,000 years ago. Around 28,000 BC, during the second cataclysm of Atlantis, the Anunnaki became even more aggressive in their desire to remove all ET technology from humans, capture them for genetic experimentation, and make them a slave race. The Draco returned to Lemuria to complete their genocide and destroy any remnants of matriarchal Lemurian influence on Kauai, Hawaiian Islands, 22,000 years ago. They took women for forced reproduction and hybridization. This was the final stage of the Lemurian genocide and Holocaust. The Syrians warned them of the dangers of abusing crystal technology in the center of the earth, but these groups continued to insert massive energy generators into the earth and into the crystal caverns. Luba, after your Toronto competition, you will be ready for more information about the Anunnakis and other videos on the illusory inversion they created on Earth. I trust you will take the time to listen to this information. Believe me when I say, information is power. This is what will set you apart from all the other competitors who are probably injected multiple times and therefore completely unconscious of who they are. I will now quickly remind you of the start of my awakening. I heard about the greatest secret by David Icke from José in the office. She heard about it from a patient. I have now listened to David narrating his 2 last books, which Lee got for free from Amazon. In the dream, David explains that we are living in a virtual reality simulation. 33 years ago, he could not walk the streets of England without people laughing at him. Imagine what his 3 children had to endure in school. Today, his 2 sons, Jamie and Gareth, work with him on spreading truth on their created platform, Iconic. In both The Trap and The Dream, Ike explains how individuals are destined to get out of the trap, out of the simulation. Two of his other 600 to 700 page books, which I have read, are Remember Who You Are, Remember Where You Are and Where You Came From, Remember, The Perception Deception, or It's All Bullocks. Yes, all of it. Finally, look at this attachment from one of his early talks. I also included and a few other screenshots in one of the recommended videos above. I trust you are now ready for all this information and will not dismiss it as you have done before. I wish you the deepest connection possible with your true self. Know you came here for a very special purpose. Win this next competition and then study as much as you can before your other competitions. Remember, when you know who you are, you don't need as much physical training anymore. What you need is to grow your connection to your true self, your soul. You know that I am always available to guide you in any way I can. We have both created this mother-daughter relationship, which is now just two conspiring souls. Everything you need to accomplish your sole purpose is inside of you. True freedom is inside of you. Here are two more attachments from my website. Infinite love, Dies Tati. Let's rejoice, because the absurd insanity we are experiencing is forcing more and more people to awaken. However, we must have compassion for those who are incapable of awakening, because the injections have created a separation from the individual soul. The only way out of the matrix is absolute non-compliance. The CBDCs will make it impossible to function in the system. I'm not interested in survival, which leads to inevitable death. I choose to live at all costs. I'm absolutely certain that the courageous ones must choose to get out of the matrix completely by November 2023. Please view the many videos I created on the time wave spirals. I was blessed because my jail experience forced me to leave Canada and what appeared to be a perfect life as a very successful dentist and mother of two wonderful children. One needs great courage to jump into the complete unknown, but it is an absolute necessity in this evolutionary crisis. Today, I'm in a position to assist individuals who choose life. Just 2 kilometers from our farm, I discovered a small development. One can purchase a lot of 1,000 meters square and a 3-bedroom house for $60,000 US at today's rate of exchange. While your home is under construction, you can start developing the agriculture of Sacha Inchi nut, avocados, pineapple, yucca, papaya, bananas, citrus fruit, and a vegetable garden. One can raise chickens and other small animals. A long-term stay at Cascata Café Retiro is $300 US per month. I also offer dentistry, including complex full mouth reconstruction at a cost of 35% of European and North American prices. The global prison planet is being dismantled, and we have the honor of witnessing this. I conclude by encouraging you to continue your inner evolution despite the current world scenario, which can seem worrying when we forget that the divine is behind everything and that the supernatural world is at our doorstep. Please share my videos. Infinite love.